Good day, SCA family. Happy New Year. In spite of where we're at with the pandemic, I really hope that you and your family had a good Christmas and that the reality of the birth of Christ made its way into your heart and gave you joy and peace and hope as we start this new year. Thank you, by the way, for all the responses regarding our virtual Christmas chapel and the special student video blessing. We are so glad that it blessed you. So plans are to do more of that. Stay tuned. Just three important announcements before I end with a thought. First, you remember back in December, our Tabo student group was raising money for December Canada. Well, I'm pleased to report on their behalf, they raised almost $1,100. Also, December Canada asked if they could use Tabo for one of their advocate spotlights, which means they were highlighted on the December Canada Instagram page. That's very exciting. So thank you too to Mrs. Christensen and Mrs. Lubis for cheering this group on. Great job, Tabo. Second, regarding the launch of our El Salvador house build projects, we are very excited that God has seen to bless this school-wide missions endeavor already. Likely you are aware that we raised enough money to build 6 houses in El Salvador. Our grand total was just over $25,000. Wow. Each of our grades will be connected to one family, and they will follow that family during the entire house build process. Everything kicks off this week during our morning devotions. Students will see the photo of their family, and then on the week of February 1st, they will have a live Zoom meeting with that family. Students will also be learning about the community where their family is from. The actual construction of the homes will occur during the week of February 8th. So very cool. And finally, winter is upon us, and we all need proper gear to stay warm. So our local mission students, once again, are rolling out their winter clothing drive for the mustard seed. From today until January 22nd, at the front and back school entrances, they will be collecting long johns, winter jackets, sweats and hoodies, warm hats, ski gloves, hand warmers, and scarves. All donations will go directly to the mustard seed to help our vulnerable neighbors. So thank you in advance for your support. Now, one of our communities sent me an amazing article this week entitled, "If There's a Time to Break Down, There's Also a Time to Heal." It was a very good and timely read. The link to it is included in the email you received to click on this video. To end our time today, I think I'd like to read just a few words of it. The author is Steve Wickham, and he writes this: "If there's a time when life runs awfully, and there are times when it has and does, there's also a time coming when life's path is level, clearer, simpler, easier, never immediately, but always inevitable. If we're impacted by despair, hope is not too far away. If there's a time to break down, there's also a time to heal. And if there's time for conflict and division, there's a time for peace and unity. We're never glad to have been there in the thick of the fog, but we're always glad to see again with fresh vision. Having been in the thick of the fog, we see just how dark life can get, which educates us and expands the borders of our perspective, deepens our capacity for empathy, and widens our ability and willingness to offer care. What is required to heal? How do we bring that time forward if we can? Well, by remembering. Through words in scripture, through friends and loved ones, through an image, through the path of one thing to another, as we're led by God's Spirit. I'm always encouraged by the words of the Apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians 12:10. "When I am weak, then I am strong." Paul shows us the way to redeem our breakdowns. When we're vulnerable, we follow the way of Jesus. Henry Nouwen reminded me recently that vulnera, it's a Latin word, means wound. It takes courage to live wounded. It's only as we live wounded that we bear the power to heal. Let me say that again. It's only as we live wounded that we bear the power to heal. Paul shows us how to live the vulnerability of Jesus, who came into this world and died vulnerable and was very often vulnerable before the religious elite. To follow Jesus is to follow his way of vulnerable living. It ought to be no surprise then when God heals us and others because of our and their weakness. So SCA family, have a good week, and I hope you have a great year. God bless you.